is going on? Everybody in the house, what is going on? Wake up in Cleveland every single morning.
I wake up, flex, I'm down now. Check, no drip, this wet. Tell 'em run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell 'em run it up. I wake up, flex, I'm down now. Check, no drip, this wet. Tell 'em run it up. I wake up, flex, thumb down now. Check, no drip, this wet. Tell 'em run it up.
What is going on? What is going on? Welcome. It is Cleveland Terry Show, Thursday, aka Tech Thursday. Hope everybody's having a great time. I've been looking at some of the chat as I've been waiting for the countdown to go by, and it appears that we got some all-stars in the house today. Some all-stars. What do we have here? I saw Justin the DJ. I saw G Kenny. I saw the man, Mac Joseph. He's here, ready to talk some trash, as he always is. Thanks for hanging out today. It's always a pleasure. Who else we got here? I'm awake now. Civil in the building. Keith Just. Who else we got? Anybody else so far? I know it's early, so we can kind of wait it out to see. Lance Jackson in the building. James King. Oh God. Okay, guys. It's one of them days. It's one of them days. So I when I woke up today, I happened to see a Mojax video. And Mojax is at Algorithm DJ this today, yesterday, whenever. And apparently he says that whatever new product, and you guys remember, it is going on November, which means we get to look forward to NAMM and something big. I have not looked at anything with Algorithm, so I'm just gonna go ahead and just click on the website real quick just to see if anything has popped out besides Algorithm DJ for Vision Pro. Okay, so nothing yet, which is good. I don't want to feel like, I'm just come to my booth at DJ. All right, yeah, I'll be there. Don't have it in Budapest this time. I kid. I will definitely be there. This is the first year. This is the first year that I plan on. This is the plan. I always say this is the plan. I've been going to NAMM for the past, 6 years now? And this is the first time that I will stay the entire weekend. I don't know about Sunday. Nobody really stays on Sunday. I mean, some people go on Sunday, but to me, I've never seen a Saturday NAMM ever. So that's where I want to go. I want to see what NAMM is like on Saturday. Last year I missed because I'm a working DJ, guys. And for whatever reason, typically speaking, that weekend every time they hold NAMM, we end up with like 10 parties, like every single NAMM year. So, well, maybe if you spelled his name right, he would show up to your booth, Mac Joseph. Okay. So, I'll be there. And, I want to see Saturday. I know lots of people that go on Saturday and, some of the big wigs at some of these companies. And literally the reason I didn't go last time was it was pretty much it's basically a relative. They're not really relatives, but they're close enough. It was her daughter's bat mitzvah that I had to be at. And then literally I'm at the party, right? We're about to open the doors, let everybody in the main room. And a couple of guys from manufacturers call me like, hey man, I got tickets. You coming? I'm like, tickets for what? Oh, Stevie Wonder's performing. I got some tickets to get you in. Man, I wasn't happy. I was not happy that day, but it was still a great party. But I've never been there on Saturday. So I literally just went and just took off on my calendar so my partner can see. And I'm like, off. CT off. I don't care if nothing happens. I want to be there for nothing. So it should be good. It should be good. We'll see. We'll see. I think if I were a bet man, and I'm not, I don't gamble at all, but if I were a betting man, I would say that this NAMM is probably going to be a big deal for several companies. If we go back and we think about last NAMM, there was pretty much nothing new at NAMM. Nothing really from Pioneer, Alpha Theta. I mean, nothing that hadn't already been announced, released. I mean, I guess they had the Omnis Duo that was there. But like nothing huge. Who else didn't bring anything out? I mean, Reloop announced a product that, you know how Reloop works. They announce a product at NAMM and it doesn't come out for another 9 months. I finally got the offer to review Reloop's thing. You guys know what I'm talking about. I had the opportunity and I honestly, I kind of turned it down. I don't think that, I'm trying to word it to where it doesn't sound like I'm being an ass, but the reality is I have to start looking because I am getting so busy, not just in work, in YouTube and all that stuff, just in life. And I have to really analyze where I want to spend my time and what's going to be the best use of my time. So sometimes products come through and I'm looking at them like, I don't think it is the time I'm going to spend researching said product, taking it out, using it, shooting videos, recording stuff, editing, throwing it out there. Is it worth my time? Am I going to see a return on my investment? And for a lot of products out there, the true answer is no. I mean, I already do all this YouTube stuff. When it's all said and done, it's done for free. It's done for free. Yeah, there's some click money from views from YouTube, but contrary to what everybody believes, there's no company out there that pays you. Maybe kind of the outside companies, they have some new gear they want you to just, throw up there, maybe they'll drop a few dollars, but in general, and I'm saying 99% of the time, there's not a single company that pays you. So, all I'm literally doing is advertising for people. So I started to reevaluate a little bit when I post videos and what makes sense. So a couple of things that I put priority on are any products that I know will work for me and my company. Okay. So very, very specific. Mac Joseph, shut up. I'm trying to have a conversation here. We've already talked about what Mojax did. It's an NDA. There's nothing new. There's nothing in the video. So what am I going to talk about? So Mojax went into the room, right? He said something game-changing was going to be there. And then the video turned off. So what is he going to be? Let's speculate on what it can be. Meh. whatever it is, it should be good. It should be good. Um, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. I over the last 2 to 3 years, um, Algorithm DJ has impressed me every time they've released something. Every time. I think that's what Mac Joseph wants to hear. How impressed I am over Algorithm DJ. And that's fine. That's fine. I know my video hasn't gone out yet for DJ. I know it hasn't gone out yet. And there are several reasons behind it. One of them is not rest in peace, Serato. You know, I think sometimes we all live in a bubble. Okay, we really do as DJs. The problem is we all get these blinders on once we find something that we like and it works for us. And then we just start to kind of dictate that, oh, everybody's using this. This is great. This is great stuff. Everybody's using it. And then you start to really survey the world and you start to realize that what you think is the best may be the best, but that changes nothing on what people actually want to use. I can't. I can't with Mac Joseph today. I can't. You guys, I need you to understand, okay? And this is going out for everybody. Understand this. You could make the single best DJ OS on the planet where everybody in the world, I review it, Mojax reviews it, you know, all the people, and they're like, oh my God, this is the best DJ software ever. This is the best, whatever, hardware, software, this is the best. You could have that today. And there will be people that are on that screen saying, ain't better than Serato. Ain't better than Virtual DJ. You're high. You must be smoking something. Yeah, that's cool, but it ain't Virtual DJ. You see what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matter. There's no such thing. There's no such thing as, in reality, game changer is a hard word to use because people just don't care. People just don't care. You know, I mean, people love their stuff. Yes, they might look at stuff and say, oh, that's kind of cool, whatever. Most people aren't leaving their stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody. There are people right now that hate Serato and will never leave Serato. You got to let it go. People are going to use what people are going to use. Now, having said that, I've been using this software, DJ, for the past a little over 2 months now. Okay. And the reason why I haven't reviewed the product is a simple one. Not reviewed. I've written. The reason why I haven't put the video out yet is because I don't want to be in a situation where I say something that's incorrect, like grossly incorrect. What I have learned specifically about software people, DJ software people, is the people that like truly know a software will jump down your throat if you get stuff wrong. And it could be like, oh, I hate that it does this. And then I get 40 messages like, well, you know that if you just do this and this, that this will, I'm like, I don't want to deal with that. So I keep going back to it. Now, I want people to understand this. I want people to understand this. Okay. For the past 2.5 months or whatever, I have used Serato 2 or 3 times. Like, you know, I work on Saturdays. So every single week when I open up my program, when I sync all my stuff to all my playlists and everything and request, I have been using DJ. Now, here's the issue. One big thing that I know a lot of people besides me don't care about. One of the big issues is I'm an Apple Music user. So DJ is the only software that will allow Apple Music. That alone is a big reason why I can't seem to leave Algorithm DJ because of that. The other reason that I keep going back is the speed that it opens up. And let's see here. Hasn't crashed on me since I've been using it. It's incredibly stable. But I've run into situations. Oh, okay. So I'll give you an example this weekend. Why did I have to do that? This weekend, for some reason, I was having a problem, but I can't remember if the problem was with DJ or the problem was with something else. I can't remember. I was doing a wedding. I can't remember exactly why. But this is what I'll say. I've never been in a situation, and I did this 3 times before technically we opened the room. Like within 2 minutes of us opening the room. I shut down DJ, did something. I can't remember what it was I was doing, but I did something, brought it back up, and was loaded up and like playing a song from shutdown to startup in like 4 seconds. It was something ridiculous. And oh, wait a minute. What was I doing? I can't remember. I think I was doing something with MIDI mapping, something like that. And it was so fast. Okay. Beat grid detection, best of them all. All right. So this is where I'm going to potentially bother certain people. Now I can talk to you guys because, my stream typically gets about 2,000 views, when it's all said and done, somewhere around there, somewhere around there, which I love. I think it's great. And I love everybody that's here, and I love doing this show. But 2,000 views is nothing compared to when I release, a long awaited product. All right. That will get 30, 40, 50,000 views. Okay. So I know that my show here, the show that we're talking about right now, I could literally tell you anything. For the most part, most of the world won't know. This is for true people that actually, love the show, love what I'm talking about, want to learn, not your average everyday. Hey, I heard that there's a new Pioneer unit. Well, let's search up there. What's that? Cleveland Terry. Let me click on that. You get it? So it's a little different. But I would say something more controversial. I love and hate the beat grids. I love and hate them. When they're good, they're really, really good. But when they're bad, it can screw up an entire transition. Now, this is just an opinion. You guys feel what you want. Now, and the reason why I've been kind of holding back on this is because for one reason in particular. If your beat grids, if you've analyzed them and you've gone back and you've made adjustments to your beat grids, then yes, It does perform perfectly. But from what I've experienced over time, uh, not every beat grid is perfect. And when the beat grids are not perfect, it's really one of the only softwares that will make you pay for it. If that makes any sense. Like if your beat grids are off and you try to drop on the one, you have the potential to run into issues with DJ. And specifically, if you are using their beats and BPM section, specifically that right there. If you're just doing a BPM sync, then yeah, no issues whatsoever. But if you're using both the BPM and the beats with DJ, there are potentials, there are failure points. It's just facts. It's just facts. Now, I know the argument. The argument's always the same. Well, you just have to go and, just go in there and do all your beat grids. I'm not taking all that time. And because it's random, I'm specifically not necessarily going to go back and tweak something. If I press sync, and it only applies to when you press sync. Keep in mind, the beat grids on DJ, there's not like a smart sync. Some of the other programs have smart syncs where, they can kind of run autonomously in the background. With DJ, you do have sync for BPM and you have sync for beats and BPM. So specifically that beats and BPMs set section. I'll show you. By the way, I do see we have Tyler Wallace, Lou Primo in the house, in case you guys did not realize who they are. There are some amazing DJs, but specifically, they run a very good and up and coming. I say up and coming because it's a newer conference. Harvest of Sound Festival that is in December. I think December 2nd, December 3rd is when it starts. I will be there. It's in Boston. It's always a good time. It's always informative. It's always a great show. So make sure that I'll see what Tyler has to say here. But make sure if you guys are if you're in the area, that's just really in the area, and you want to experience something different, something new. Honestly, check out Harvest of Sound. It's really a great conference, and I will be speaking. It's always a great time. Always. Okay. So, back to what I was saying. So my issue is, that the main thing that they're touting works, and it works well until it doesn't. So I kept going. I've been going back. To be honest with you, I've turned off the beat grid. Not all of the beat grid. Hold on. Let me turn to. Yeah. Lou Primo says if you're not using sync, then the beat grids don't matter. Not all songs were recorded with the drum machine or click. So this is my thing. So I've turned it off. If I do use sync, it's just a standard sync, nothing special. It's just taking the BPM and putting it together, because I've been burned on using the beats and BPM sync, because once you activate the beats and BPM sync, it activates the fluid dynamic beat grids. And yes, if you're doing disco music or whatever, you're dropping stuff and the beats are fluctuating, then it is great. But sometimes I'll be just dropping a normal 4 on the floor EDM track, and for whatever reason my beat grid is off, and it just screws up everything. So so because I don't want to deal with, and maybe I'll do another DJ analysis. I'll do another one more. And now you see why I'm waiting. I'll do another analysis using Algorithm DJ's analysis. I'll run everything through it, and then I will use it one more time, and see if I get some of those strange, issues. DJ is nothing monthly. You pay every year, and I think it was. I don't know exactly right now, but it was around $50 a year. It's nothing. It's nothing. Like, people should buy DJ, subscribe to it just because. $29.99 a year. Hold on. I thought it was more than that, Mac Joseph. Damn. I could have sworn it was 50. What's 50 a year then? Okay. Well, if it is 30, sorry, I'm waiting for my throat to relax. If it is 30, then it's even more reason to get it. Mojack's in the building. What's going on, fam? We were just talking about you. Okay. I thought it was maybe in the US it's 50, and maybe it's cheaper somewhere else. Mojax didn't spark a fire. Mojax is doing what he's supposed to be doing. He's getting invited to all the hot spots, They're flying them out. They're doing stuff. I don't actually know exactly in relation where Algorithm DJ is to where Mojax is, so that's the issue. I know it's overseas, so he's got way more opportunity than I. And DJ Angelo, I'll have to check my DMs again, but there's no reason to put an exclamation point on it's 30. No reason for that. I have to see now. I'm going to check myself. Because I think it's more expensive in the US. I really do. Download on the Mac App Store, but I already own it, so it's not going to let me do this. Purchase. Give me a price. Okay. It's not showing me here. Anyway, Algorithm DJ cost. How much does Algorithm DJ cost? Okay. DJ Pro Windows is available as a free download on the Microsoft Store. The optional Pro subscription for $49.99 per year will offer access to all content and features of DJ Pro. Come on, guys. So, maybe the $30 is after. Maybe it's $50 to get it. I don't know. I'm just telling you what the internet says. So I don't know. Maybe they like you better than I do. I don't know. Maybe there is a is there a subscription that has like neural mix and Algorithm DJ and all their little things? Anyway, but I do get to go to the expo. Mojax, you are correct. You are absolutely correct. I know. But one day, I will be the guy on the boat in the middle of Florida. One day I will be the one invited. One day. It may never be a day at all. It may never be a day. Okay, guys, look, I'm just telling you what the internet says. If you get it for $29, then fantastic. I am very happy for you. I don't remember, and I'll check my bill one day. But today, not that day. It's not a big deal. Yeah, Mojax, but it happened the one time I wasn't invited. I'm very sensitive. I'm very thin-skinned. No, but even when I saw the video, I knew people were going to be like, hey, you see what Mojax is doing? I knew it when I saw the reel. I knew it. But, hey, more power to you. More power to you. I know I will find out well before anything is time for anything to come out, but I am going to text Angelo now. I am going to let Angelo know. Now, it could be Angelo's waiting for a review. Maybe he's waiting for a review before he decides to tell me, what's happening. It could be as simple as that. I think overall, I know that it is our jobs as reviewers to be nitpicky. All right. And I want to make this argument real fast. I know some people say, oh, no, you shouldn't nitpick. If we don't nitpick, the majority of the world is going to call us out on anything we don't nitpick. There's a few people that'll be like, dude, you're taking this way too seriously. That little issue is not really a problem. You're just being nitpicky. But the majority of the world, that's where they work. So, yeah, they might be I think they're going to be overall happy. I mean, I think when it's all said and done, I'm the last person. The fact that I keep going back to Algorithm DJ says a lot more to me than the review does. Even if I have severe big problems with certain things, if I do, it won't change the fact that I still keep using the product. I keep going back to it. Now, I've gone back to Serato a couple times. What was the reason? I had a reason. I don't think my MIDI maps were holding. And for whatever reason, I've been using the same controller, which is the Rain Performer. And this Saturday, I turned on DJ and I went to make sure that I have a couple of little MIDI mappings. One of them is the beat jump, because I believe there's a beat jump on the Performer. No, I don't think there is. Anyway, there was something I had to MIDI map to make work. And when I went to go use the mapping, it was gone. It had disappeared for whatever reason. Something I had to go and re-MIDI map it. And there's not a problem with MIDI mapping. Virtual DJ, I was about to say. Algorithm DJ does MIDI map differently than any other company. Like, their MIDI mappings are they're a little strange. It's definitely in DJ language. So, like, beat jump is not called beat jump in their MIDI mappings. It's like skip ahead. That took me forever to find. Forever. And they have little things like that where they're just called something different than beat jump or whatever. But like I said before, the startup speed, there's some visual things that I still to this day still don't like. Just layout wise, and there's just redundancy for no reason. Like, for instance, I had to export out a playlist with Algorithm DJ. I should probably just bring it up. Since we're talking. My HDMI is close, and I don't have to go to a video. There it is. Okay. All right. Okay. So what I want to do right now is not let my magnet get in the way here. Okay. All right. Hold on. Just in case there's anything NDA wise or inappropriate, let me just get out of this stuff. Okay. Now, try to email that client right after this. Okay. I've done this before, but I'm going to do it again. Now, I know my Serato DJ is definitely slow to boot, maybe slower than others for some unknown reason. Now, having said that, this is DJ. All right. Here we go. We should probably clock it. I'm going to clock it just because. Stopwatch. All right. Here we go. And we are good. We're already going. That was like 4.5 seconds. 4.5 seconds. I mean, that's the kind of thing that, like, I specifically, it's hard to get away from. It is hard to get away from that. And just the speed at which. Now, there are some things I don't like. For instance, I can't stand the cue being on this side. The cue on this side is bothersome, not because it's on this side, but because there's nowhere else that it is. Like, I can't move this box like I was using Serato and put it down here. So the problem is this. Let's say I just start queuing up some songs here, right? Now, I have limited information on my cue pane. Now, for some people, maybe they're not going to care. It's not perfect. Stop, Mac. Stop. Maybe others aren't going to care. But for me, I'm lacking information. And this isn't for you, Mac. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying, Mac? You have to allow, you are being very American political system right now. Okay? You are being this. If it's not this, it has to be this black or white. There's nothing here that is black or white. There's nothing on this screen. There's nothing, and a lot of things that are black and white. There are going to be nuances. You got to let it go. These are opinions. But for people that use products, that use multiple products, there are things that are going to grow, But the side view, having that as the only option, I think it lacks. Now, all I get here now is BPM and the name. Okay, there's one thing. Here's another thing that draw. You can stretch the column. Okay, let's talk about that. See, the problem, Mac, is you're jumping the gun. You see, I'm telling a story here, and I'm breaking it down. I got to start with a piece and then break off, because if I just jump to things, your next statement would be, well, you didn't do this instead. So I try to be thorough. Let it go. Okay, so yes, you can adjust this, but in adjusting this, you now lose your information from here. That's the issue. Also, as I'm adjusting this, let's go back to this. Let me just type in a name. Michael Jackson. Okay. Hold on, that is not what I wanted to show you. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so if you are, searching in a playlist, okay, you search in a playlist, it's going to give you within the playlist that you're in, so you can see all the information. Right? But if you're not searching in a playlist, and let's say you're searching in, more of the collection, well, then you get this additional column, and now it's blocking your information again. And that's an issue. That that messes with speed. And as fast as this is, Sorry. Thanks, guys. Sorry. I hit the wrong button when I was clearing my throat. Check. There we go. Okay. So, like I said, I don't have a problem with what's going on here as a whole, but again, we get in this weird situation where it's like nothing is perfect. Nothing is perfect. There's nothing out there that's perfect. So there's always going to be people that when they use something might feel a certain way. And when somebody else uses that same program, they're going to feel a completely different way. Neither of us are wrong, except for the fact that nothing is perfect. Now, besides that, wait, hold on. Wait, Mac just said, there is one thing I don't like, actually. I guarantee you this is going to be some sarcastic bullshit. Watch. Yeah, I want to know, Mac. I want to know. I got to know now. Okay, so, all right, let's see. What is there anything else that kind of bothers me? I mean, like, as I was saying before, you can't drag. Yes, that's another thing, Mac. Yes, you are correct. You can't, unlike with Serato, let's say you were here. Let me get him off again. And, you make this a little smaller and you go into your music folder and, maybe you want to take this song and drag it. Well, I think this drag works. No, that works. It's, what is the one? I've tried this before. I know what he's talking about. Where, oh, yes, thank you. Now I remember what I was going to do. Okay. So, when you're here and let's say you have a song right here and let's say you open it up and you want to pull it back and make sure that it's in your queue. There's no way to do that. You can't drag it. You can't instant double by dragging this song to the other side. It's one of those very weird things. So if you've loaded something on here, right? Let's see, you've loaded the song. You're like, oh, I want to make sure that I remember. I have to go back, find the song, and then put it back into my queue. Okay, hold on. You guys are, so there's this story right now. It's not right now, but the political landscape is so extreme that people are quick to jump on people when they say, oh, by the way, I like this. And then they say, oh, by the way, I like this too. What do you mean you like this too? You're only allowed to like this. You can't like this and this. What are you doing? Are you being open? What are you doing? Oh, being open-minded. You can't do that. And the same thing applies to DJ software. DJ software, people think because I say a product is good, that means that there's no other good products. And it couldn't be farther from the truth. There are softwares that I use and love. And every time I go back to Serato, after I wait the minute and a half for Serato to load, every time I open up Serato, a little bit of fresh air, that happens. I know people want to hate on Serato. I know, and Serato has its flaws. But when I tell you, I love its flaws. So it's always going to be near and dear to my heart. But that doesn't mean I can't appreciate other software. And let's be clear about this. let's be clear about this. Since I ever touched DJ, I have never once said, DJ is trash. Not one time. What I've always said about DJ is, you know what, guys? DJ's really good, is what I've said. DJ's really good. There's potential here. There's some really cool things. Now, remember, everything that we do, and it could be even us reviewing hardware, software, there's a little bit of glossiness anytime you're looking at something new. Wow, it does this. Wow, it does this. This is great. This is great. Every single time. But just like everything else, as you use it, it's like, you know, you're home shopping. You're home shopping, right? You walk into a house and you're like, oh my God, this house is perfect. It's exactly what I wanted. Everything. You move in, you buy the house, you move in, you put all your stuff up. It's great. You're like, this is great. Then you go to bed one night and you're like, hey, what is that random noise that happens at like 3 a.m. every time? Oh, well, that's because there's a building over the street that every day at 3 a.m. it does this thing and it's just normal. Oh, you know, I didn't really realize that when I bought this house. Okay, no big deal. I'll just keep it moving. And then you start going, hey, why is my house? I mean, I'm going through this right now with my house. You know, I'm looking at my baseboards and I'm like, why are they so, like, I get baseboards wear and tear, but these are just terrible. And I had to go online and look it up. I'm like, I don't understand why my baseboards are discoloring like this. Well, it's because they used cheap paint to paint the house, the interior of the house. So now I got to go back and paint everything. But this is what I'm saying to you. When I first walked in this house could do no wrong. But the more you're in it is the more you're like, okay. I know the problems in my house. I know that if something happens, I do this and wiggle the handle and do this, and then it's fine. It's the same thing applies to software. You know, once you start understanding the quirks of said software, then it becomes yours. You know it like the back of your hand. So you don't think twice about it, and you don't want to go off and learn new stuff. So you get into this closed mind thing. You say, oh, no, this is the best. I'm not that person. I appreciate it. Well, this is kind of always the thing, you know. But again, it's DJ that has the problem, not Serato. The problem with DJ is getting a group of people, a majority of people, to actually not only say, I like it, or, oh, this is really cool, but actually use the product. There's a ton of people. There's a ton of people that, oh, no, Lou. Actually, Lou, to be honest with you, the best font and GUI, I'm gonna have to give it to DJ. The visuals of DJ are so clean, and the retina it's smooth. Yes, I agree with you that Serato happens to be the easiest to understand when you're looking at it. You know, like, I don't know why, I just can fly through it. I can do the same thing with DJ. I can't do it with Rekordbox. I can't do it with Virtual DJ. I can't. For whatever reason, Virtual DJ to me, as good as it is, I can't use it visually. I just struggle every time. So my issue with Rekordbox is nothing. Rekordbox is a good program. It's just the layout is something to be desired. Feature set, it's good. But also the biggest issue with Rekordbox that none of the other ones have, it only works with Alpha Theta products. So I'll never truly get invested in something that only works with, one thing. So I I use it when I use it. I basically use Rekordbox to test out Rekordbox stuff, the Rekordbox sides of controllers. That's it. But like I said, there's no bad DJ software. They're all solid. You know, they can all get you from the start of the party to the end of the party without many issues. So, I mean, and when it's all said and done, remember, we're always just using 2 turntables and a mixer. So if your software can do, I don't care if your software, like say for instance, you know, when you open this up, you know, it's got all this stuff up, right? And you look at it and maybe it looks like, you know, let's see here. You know, maybe it looks like this. The waveforms are like this. And you get into there and you're just like, this is crazy. This is crazy. In any program, you can take things down every time. Every single program offers this. So I haven't been in a program yet. You know, even with like, you know, Rekordbox. Rekordbox, when I first opened up Rekordbox, it was a legitimate nightmare to me. Now, I don't even think it's gonna come up. Speaking of stuff that's a little slow to load, Rekordbox is another one of those. Rekordbox tends to take, you know, forever and so many options and so many things. Okay. This is what I'm talking about. And we are still not ready to go. Still faster than Serato, I think. Okay, let's go. Okay. We can get out of export since I don't need this. Wow, it is moving a little slow. The Stems engine takes a little while, but you know, when you open up, you know, this thing, everything, it's very virtual DJ-ish, and it just became a thing. So I went in and I just started knocking things off, knocking them down. So, you know, it would end up being 2 turntables and a mixer. But there is a lot going on here. There's a lot going on. And it just, yeah, you know, to each their own. To each their own. Rekordbox equals Pro Tools. DJ equals Ableton? No, I don't think so, Josh. I think I don't have a problem with Rekordbox, and it's got some good qualities to it. I just can't use it. Can't use it. Can you set the wave files horizontally? Yes, you can. Where'd it go? Oh, it's on the second page. That's right. Another thing. Hold on, let me see here. Waveforms. I know you can. I just can't find it at the moment. Horrors of view. 4 decks, show library. Waveforms. Huh? I know it's here somewhere. The other thing that this does, it was nice when it was only Serato. I mean, you know what that sounds like, right? You know what that sounds like. Okay, first, I mean, okay. Let's look at it from a open mind. Does having other DJ softwares ruin your ability to DJ? Does having other DJ softwares give your competition a leg up and people are booking them? You know what I mean? Like, what does it matter that it's Serato? That's like saying our neighborhood used to be good until the blacks showed up. like Did they do something to your house? Did your property value really go down? I mean, honestly, still to this day on my street, I truly think we may be the only black family, mixed family, but the only black family in our neighborhood. We may still be that. It is 2024. But love my neighborhood. Love the people that live here. They're great people. But yes, I haven't seen any other brothers. Okay. The people on the other side of the laptop don't really care. This is true. I still use cassette tapes. Yeah, I mean, okay, so basically, this is what I'm saying. So if I go in here and I analyze everything, let me go into settings real quick. I'm drawing a blank on where I wanted to go. Oh, okay. Now I remember. Also, the settings, very sparse. It's very sparse on DJ. DJ knows. Okay, but here's the issue. So right now, my sync mode is set to BPM only. Now, if they can do something like what I'm suggesting, then maybe it'll be better for me. So when you turn on BPM and beats, all right, this is where you get your adjustable beat grids. Now you can go in here and change your beat sync to 1 beat to 4 beat, to resume after sync, maintain song on the blah, 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 right? Okay. But if you turn it to BPM only, it grays out your beat sync interval. It grays that out. And basically it stops the fluid grids, adjustable beat grids. It stops them. It's only BPM. Now, there's good and bad to that, because the good is if there are any problems with your grids, you're not going to see that in your music while you DJ. Okay. And this is my big thing. You're not going to see that. But if you turn on this, you are at the mercy of whatever your beat grids are. And it is the only application that if your beat grids are off, and it could be something simple, but if they're off, it can really destroy a mix. It can really destroy a mix where let's say you're dropping something on the one. And this is really where I see it the most. I've seen it in a couple other ways, but if you are a beat dropper, even you're trying to mix, but it drop, right? You drop it on the one on that beat. You're not thinking that Algorithm DJ is going to take your beat that you just dropped on the one and then repeat the beat. Now you're off beat on your mix. It's the only one. It's the only one that does that. So again, this is what I'm saying. If you are your DJ, for life, and this is your thing, and you go in there and you analyze, what, matter of fact, I think I'm going to analyze right now. I wish I would have remembered. Well, I know the one that I kept having my issue with. It was Get Busy, and what was the other track? Oh, I think it was Outkast and Rosa Parks. It was just a transition that I was just happened to be doing. All right. So let me go into the beat grids real quick. Come on, edit. And I dropped Get Busy at the same time. Or I think it was reverse. So I had Get Busy playing. I'm not gonna play the music. And then I went to drop this song. Where's the rest of my stuff? Oh, there we go. Okay. All right. I'm going to play it really low because I can't have me getting demonetized for some dumb stuff. Now, I have already adjusted this beat grid. Okay. So before, you can't play it. Before, when I would play this track and I would hit the cue point or drop it on the one, it would go like this. So then it would be off, a double. Now, that's because the beat grids were off in the song. Now, it only applies because of the dynamic beat grids. But, you know, where your beat grids are very, very important on here. On here. Specifically on here. Not so if you turn off the dynamic beat grids, yeah, Positive T says did it to me on Saturday. Yeah, so if you turn off your dynamic beat grids, then it's not an issue. It's not an issue. But then if you turn off your dynamic beat grids, well, you're losing a very, very big part of DJ, which what makes it good. So if you have the latest version of DJ, beat grid should be no problem. I've gone through multiple versions and I've experienced this. Now, I do want to put something out there, okay? Because when I ran into this issue, this is when I was still in the review part. You know, and I called Angelo and I'm like, Angelo, I'm experiencing this. And I showed it to him. He's like, oh, your beat grid's off. I'm like, I know what you're saying, but should it be? You know what I mean? Like, should it be doing this? I know it's doing this. And I know you're telling me we have to go in there and adjust your beat grid, but I feel like that's something that should be an automated process. So I will do, but and every time I've said this, a couple of things that they've already fixed because of my research. So I wouldn't be surprised if the dynamic beat grid issue was fixed because of what I had said to him. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised because it was a couple of months ago, maybe a month ago. Anyway. Keep that dynamic beat. I will not keep a dynamic beat on. And again, now remember, doesn't it update on its own? Let me see what I'm on. I am on 5.2.4. Okay. So I'm on 5.2.4. I had this problem on Saturday. So unless they updated this thing this week, I would say that it's not exactly fixed. Now this is why it's taking me a while. I'm going to reanalyze all of my stuff. Yeah. End of September. So I still had the same issue. I'm going to analyze everything using DJ's analysis. I'll get the word, analysis. And then we'll repeat one more time. And it's noticeable enough to where if the mistake does happen, it will throw off your entire mix. Like it's absolutely something that like, I'm like, the fact that I don't know when it's going to happen is the problem. And I'm flying through stuff, you know, I mean, I guess if you're a slower DJ and you know, you're taking a while to load up and all that stuff, maybe you notice it faster to turn it off. But like sometimes I've done certain mixes so well or so long that I don't even look at stuff. I'm just like load, drop, load, drop. And if the BPMs are on point on my screen or on my deck, I'm not thinking, well, if I drop this song that I always drop, I'm going to have a problem. Like, I'm not thinking that. So it's that I'm not going to play every song I have. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to play every song. Therefore, you know, am I going to run into this? Now, I should have labeled. Well, I did record my set. I'm gonna have to go through my set and see where that double is, and I can try to emulate it one more time. They need slip in the iPhone. Okay. I mean, yeah, that's a whole nother animal. iPads, iOS that I'm not touching. So to be clear, I can use DJ with Apple Music, which means you don't need Tidal. That is correct. You know, if I go over here and I check my sources, You can see that you have all these options. I turn off most of my options because they just get in the way. But I have my crates on. This is Serato right here under my crates. Tidal I keep on in Apple Music, but I have found that Apple Music and Tidal are pretty damn close. Apple Music can't have stems. Do we have to do this every time? Do we have to do this every single time? Yeah, you're right. Apple Music doesn't have stems. Guess what? I like to think I'm a good DJ, and I DJ'd before stems. Is stems a good feature? Yes. Is that required? No. And one more thing. Hold on, let me clear up here. One more thing. About stems. Specifically stems and DJ. I don't love using stems in DJ. Hear it again. I don't love stems in DJ. Now, is there anything wrong with stems? No, stems are fine. I don't love the microsecond it takes to start stems on DJ. If I hit the stems button, there is a noticeable delay from when I hit the stems button to when the stems are actually active. I'm not lying. This is fact. In Serato, stems are instantaneous. No matter where I am, if I hit that button, it's going to mute out that part. If I hit the button on DJ, it's going to wait a minute. It's going to wait a couple seconds. It's the better quality than Serato. What does it matter if the quality is good if I can't stem on beat? We're making excuses for things that should not happen. And stem EQ is fine if that's where you want to go. But I like also using my EQ. So I am at odds with it. And as good as stems are on DJ, I don't know what it is, but specifically with DJ, if I stem some stuff, sometimes the outcome of the stem is like Serato just does something like when you take out the bass line and you take out the harmony part. When you take that out in Serato, I don't know what they have, but something happens and it just gets even beefier, right? But that doesn't apply to DJ. And you factor in that you factor in the delay. I use it a lot less than I do in Serato. I use it a lot less. So for me, yes, would it be nice if Apple Music had stems? Yes. Can I EQ out my stems? Absolutely. So I just go back to old school when I don't have stems. I mean, guys, we do have a lot of people who use all-in-ones. There are no stems on all-in-ones. And yet, I don't know, they tend to still be able to DJ without the magical miracle stems. And I'm the biggest proponent of stems. I love stems. Love stems. But sometimes they don't work. Sometimes they don't work well. And I just find that it tends to work less effectively in DJ than it does in Serato. That's all. Let's see here. I think you have an older version of DJ. Zero delay on 5.2.4. Well, I don't know what to tell you. I just looked at it. M1. That's 5.2.4. So, well, hold on. Let me, I gotta find, let me go to my, vlog music. I guess it doesn't matter if it has music or not. All right, let's bring out some stems here. Okay. What I need to do is all right. Now, it is on beat on this one. Let me get to a yeah, it's on the computer. I'll have to see with the controller. I'm trying to see what controllers I want to actually put on this desk. Hold on. Ah, that's funny. Let's see here. My all-in-one Numark Mixstream Pro keeps them on the floor just fine. Oh, well, okay. Not sure what that has to do with what we're talking about, but yes. Hold on. Let me try to find something easy. I don't know if that one's gonna come out with. I mean, I guess I could grab my Ref 7, but that's too big for up here right now. Let's take a look. Okay. Ugh. Since there's no dedicated stem button, we'll have to see here. I got too much stuff on my desk. Okay. All right. Stems on this deck. Okay. Why am I not having any sound? Let me change the audio settings here. Anyway, so if it works on here, then I'm going to say this. Then it's an implementation issue. It's an implementation issue with, say, whatever hardware you're using. So maybe the Rain Performer has a noticeable delay just because. I don't know, but it is a thing. And devices. Okay. Mixer mode, all good. Yeah. I see volumes, but it's not coming out of the By the way, does Algorithm DJ work on I didn't check. Does it work on the Prime Go? Does it work on that? I did not check. I mean, I guess I could check. Okay. Okay, there we go. All right, sound booth. Main output. Huh. Yeah, don't know. Okay, anyway. Works with the Prime Go. We need to evolve DJing. Mac, what does that mean? We need to evolve DJing. I'm curious what that means to you. Because I would say DJing is pretty damn evolved compared to where we were, back in the 70s and 80s. I mean, I would say it's pretty impressive where we are now. In fact, we're kind of going, we're kind of going full circle in a weird kind of way. Like before, everything was too big, and then everybody wanted everything smaller, and then we got to a point where it seems like everybody wants stuff big again. And to each their own. It is what it is, but there's a limit. There's a limit. All right, Pete. Thanks for hanging out today. There's a limit to where I'll go. VDJ is the evolution. Man, y'all just be saying just stuff. And here's the thing. I want to point out, and this is to Danny, but not to Danny, because everybody's like this. To type out VDJ is the evolution. That's a long time to be thinking VDJ is the evolution. You know what? Like, you had time to stop and say, you know what? Actually, everybody's pretty good. Because these statements that come out, like even Mac, DJ, the game changer. I have not been changed. I have been using DJ for almost 3 months now, and I have not been changed. Is it a great product? Yes. Has it changed the way I DJ? No, it hasn't. There's not a single program out there that has changed, that is fundamentally, I'm not talking about, well, there's stems now, fundamentally changed the way I DJ. There has not been one program. When you strip away everything from every program, it's still just 2 turntables and a mixer. That's why when people are like, I only know how to use said program, like, no, you know how to use all of them. If you go in there and turn off everything that they try to do. Most of the things that are game changing, in virtual DJ, even in DJ, most of these things are in reality things designed to think for you. Things designed to do what you do naturally, automatically. That's all they're doing. They're automating the things that you do, usually on an every given basis when you're DJing. They're automating that process. Oh, you know what? Why even think about BPMs? Here's a sync. You know what? Why even think about, EQing? Hey, just hit the mute button on the stems. You know what? Don't worry about adjusting the pitch. Don't worry about that. We got adjustable beat grids. We'll do it for you. Everything we're talking about is not fundamentally game changing. It's making your life easier, but you still have to do it. Okay. Sometimes I think that I am not dumb enough, unfortunately, to think that all the things that we're getting help on aren't to the detriment of what it is that we're doing. Okay. I can't stand going into a grocery store, and I don't like cashiers. I'll go through it if I need to, but if I can avoid talking to somebody, I will, right? So the checkout kiosks on the side, those are my favorite thing. All right. Now I'll go up to the checkout because that's a me thing. That's a for me. I need this. Okay. However, if I walk up to you as a cashier and say, hey, I'd like to buy this fruit or this box of cereal, and you tell me, hey, go to the self-checkout. You can do that there. You're not thinking. You're dumb. This is literally designed to remove you from the equation. So every time people are like, these are facts right here. These are facts. Yeah, these are absolute facts. So every time they introduce something new, a new feature that's going to help you do whatever you want to do, it's taking what you do naturally, emulating it, and removing that from you. Well, what do you mean? Now you can just DJ more effectively. This is a lie. This is a lie they're telling you. Okay? This is a lie. All these things that are designed to help you, to make things easier, we use lots of things. All right? But they're replacing you. If somebody can come out with a program that can do what you do, I'm not even sure a club would even hire you. In all honesty, if they do, it's no longer about skill sets. It's about the way you look, the way you sell, the way you showboat. That's not DJing. It's performing in a certain respect, but it's not DJing. You know? So honestly, love what you do. Love the manual. As a matter of fact, manual anything, I'm not saying do it all the time, but manual anything will make you better at whatever thing you are learning or trying to do. Manual anything. I have this box. What's it called? It is called the tour box. Okay. So I have a tour box. Now, I have been a Final Cut person forever. Right? And then everybody kept saying, oh, DaVinci Resolve. I had a contract with them to do some stuff on their video stuff and everything. So they gave me everything for free. Anyway, the DaVinci, I kept dabbling in it. I would touch it. I'm like, I hate this. Go back somewhere else. All right. Go back to Final Cut, go back in it a little bit more, dabble in it. Hate this. Go back to Final Cut. I got to a certain point where I was like, you know what? The new operating system came out. I'm like, or the new update. I'm like, I have to just use it. I have to just stop. That's a horrible analogy, Mac Joseph. Horrible. I didn't say we use controllers. So obviously I'm not saying that you shouldn't be using technology. Okay? But there is a difference between, driving to your place and walking your equipment. Stop. But I have this thing called a tour box. So when I was using DaVinci, I'm like, this is just too, I don't know the shortcuts. I don't know any of this stuff. So I'm going to go and grab a tour box. Tour box basically is a macro, it's a macro machine. Basically you tell it, when I press this button, I want it to do this, or so on and so forth. So very convenient. I was in there, it's going it. Guess what? I was still slower. Why am I slower? Because I don't know exactly the program. So I put the tour box away, started learning the hotkeys again, like I do on Final Cut. And when I tell you now, I'm flying through stuff because of the manual. Sometimes having automation actually slows you down. And if it doesn't slow down your DJing there, it slows down your learning process. And uphill both ways. I know you guys are all, I'm gonna use a British term, taking a piss. I know that's what you guys think you're doing, but you guys aren't hearing me. Okay. Obviously, I love technology, love it. But there is a fine line between letting technology do everything for you and you not learning how to use the program. You not learning if something were to go wrong, how to get out of it. That's what technology can do for people. They just ignore. My kids are the same way. The same thing, talking about stick versus automatic. Yeah, the car still gets you there. But guess what? If the world comes to an end and I need to get into a Volkswagen Bug and I need to get out of town, I'm going to be able to do it because I know how to drive stick. Like it's very important that you may not do the things that the automation does. Okay. You may not, but it's important that you know how it's done. When I used to work in the real world and where I was, run Excel spreadsheets and everything. And I would go in and throw all my macros in and do all that stuff and run those scripts and, Visual Basic, and you click run and it just does all this stuff for you. Okay. Does all this stuff for you. It does not mean that you don't know how to do it, because you had to go in there and teach it how to do all those things, how to run all those macros, how to run all those scripts. You had to do it. So you know this. You're just automating what you already know. There's nothing wrong with that. You're automating what you already know. That's a good thing. But if you just walk into something and it's like, oh, I don't even know how to do this, but I know if I hit this button, it'll work. And then something goes wrong. And then you can't fix it. My wife is the exact same way. So she works our photo booths, and every so often I have been telling her for months, years, hey, you really need to learn how to put the ink in and put the paper in. So if you do run out of ink, you do run out of paper, if your ink rips, whatever, you'll know how to do it without me there. Well, just load it up first. Just I don't want to put in a new ream of paper and new ink. There's nothing wrong with this ink, but if I change it now, it's worthless. I'm going to throw it away. So let's just let it run its course. It'll probably be fine. Oh, no, it's fine. And guess what happens this weekend? She's printing out a crap ton and she runs out of ink. Now she's calling me. I'm working. I'm doing a wedding. I'm doing a wedding right now. And so I got to walk her through this. Now, if she just learned it from the start instead of having automation, she wouldn't have even called. But people like being automated. They like AI. They like all this stuff. People are telling me right now, you should let AI edit your videos. I could, but it's not going to understand everything that I want. It's not going to see nuance. It's not going to see design. What about Cold Sparks? What about him? What's your question? My God, I can't be the only one that has ever talked about Cold Sparks. I'm sure there's thousands of videos on Cold Sparks. What exactly do you want to know? How do I feel about them? I own them. I sell them. People pay for them. So I feel real good about them. Now, I will say this about Cold Sparks. First off, not every venue will allow them. A lot of venues are actually stopping them, which is why we stopped buying them. We have 6, and they don't go out as much. We have a couple clients that have rented them, like actually this weekend. We have Cold Sparks going out. But a lot of venues are not allowing them anymore. So are they worth it anymore? You got to check your area. I don't know. They're still worth us. We made our money back. All of it. And then some. Okay, let's see here. Have you played around with DJ Studio? I've seen other guys automate their entire set. We're obsolete. No, we're not. because we're not obsolete. We're not. And I have not messed with DJ Studio. I've seen it. I've looked at reviews on it. I don't think that's going to happen. For the simple fact that in order to use DJ Studio, you have to want to use it. And most DJs will not use it. Now, maybe you'll be that guy that programs in DJ Studio for businesses. Maybe you'll be that guy who pushes our destruction forward. Who knows? Who knows? Okay, so a bot can't read the crowd yet. Yeah, not yet. Not yet. But it can come. I mean, but there's technology already out there that could absolutely do a decent job of reading crowds. It's still out there. We're just not there yet. We're not there yet. So make your money while you can. You know, make your money while you can. What's the difference between an AI DJ and me doing a pre-recorded set? The difference is nothing. You shouldn't be doing that if you are playing live. In all honesty, if you get booked to do a live event, you play live. And I won't change my idea of that at all. You booked to do live, you play live. Or else don't play live and then get paid less. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. You know, but in all honesty, to me, this goes off. Hold on. I'm sorry. Hold on one second. I'm sorry. Hold on. I can't. Okay. Live is, I think that DJs that go into open format clubs, any club, actually, I think a DJ that goes into a club, gets booked for a club, and the crowd did not come to see them, should also not be playing an automatic set. When I say an automatic set, I mean, it's like, you know, they got their list from 1 to 30. They're not taking requests. They're just playing what they want to play. They don't really care the outcome of said event. They don't care if the people are actually out there having a good time or, you know, trying to connect with them. They're there to play music. And even for those people, when you play live sets, if you have no intention of adjusting to the crowd, if you have no intention of that, I always question why you'd even want to do it, in all honesty. But, you know, everybody's got their thing, you know. I mean, I get it. Sometimes, you know, you go to an EDC or something like that, and they have video and graphics and everything tied to your set, so it's got to be on point. I don't get offended by that. I don't know why other DJs get offended. That showcase that DJ's in is not even something that normal DJs would kind of do. You get what I'm saying? Like, people are going there with the understanding that it's more than just about the music. It's about the visuals. It's about the vibe. It's about, you know, the cool pyro techniques. It's all of these things. I don't even know why people get mad at these touring, you know, DJs. I don't understand it. That's not a real DJ. I mean, yes, they were a real DJ one time, but even if they're not, that's not why people are going. So what does it matter what they're doing? You wouldn't have been there anyway. You know, open mind, let it go. You know, I mean, it's like the difference between somebody doing a television commercial and performing on Broadway. They're two different things. Yes, they're still both acting, but they're two different things. People believe the WWE is real. There are actual people that believe that wrestling is real. You know, they're performing. They're performing. Balancing all the things what's going on. They are performing. So let them perform. Let them do their thing. Oh my God. I did the bad thing and I did not turn off. I did not do not disturb myself today. Anyway, hold on. Before I go any farther to see how far I can go today, I need to check my schedule. Okay. 1 o'clock. Oh my God. People are so in a rush right now. So in a rush. So in a rush. Okay. So the bottom line here is that just do you. Just do you. I'm just done. I'm done with the judgmental. I mean, I'm judgmental on certain things, but like, if it doesn't affect me, it doesn't affect me. I cannot control how anybody else perceives me, appreciates me, wants me to be involved. I can't control that. You get it? So if I can't control it, there's no sense getting frustrated by it. I'm the guy that's legitimately like, when stuff goes wrong, like legitimately real stuff. Oh my God, I can't believe this happened. And they're like, why aren't you angry? Why aren't you this? And I sit there and I say, because I couldn't control it. I only get mad if there's something that I can control and then something happens because I didn't act. You get it? But if like a natural disaster happens or something happens, or, you know, a space shuttle falls into my property, like I can't get mad at that. That's a freak accident. You see what I'm saying? Like, so that stuff doesn't bother me. It used to. It doesn't bother me anymore. You know, like when I see Mojax, I'm like, oh, I'm so jealous. You know, like, but I'm like, hey, you know, good for him. Good for him. You know, one day it'll be me. And I've had experiences with things where, you know, other people are like, oh, I've never gone to that. One day it'll be me. You know what I mean? So it's like, you can't. Yeah. So, I mean, it's life. It's life. It's life. You know, everybody, I think the key here is that everybody needs to have an opinion. And you can't say things like, whatever, do what you want to do. What do you mean, do what I want to do? Well, I mean, if you like it, then go with it. But what do you feel? Well, I don't really care. What do you mean? You have to care. Phil, give me an opinion. I'm just like, hey man, just do what you want to do. I don't have a problem giving my opinion either. Obviously, you know that. What I have a problem with is people trying to convince me differently of my opinion. If you like something, like it, use it, do whatever. You know, like I make fun, me and Mac Joseph kind of go back and forth with our little, you know, ribbing each other. But the fact is, what he likes or doesn't like doesn't change my view on anything. And I say, whatever makes you a better DJ, use it. You know, that's it. Whatever makes you a better DJ. None of this is rocket science. You know, we're DJs. And yes, it is true that if a lot of people had the sync turned off, we'd have a problem. You know what I want DJ to do? Because we keep talking about this beat sync and syncing and all that stuff. What I want DJ to be able to do, I want to be able to toggle it on and off. I want to be able to MIDI map a button on my deck that allows me to turn it on or turn it off. That way, if I am doing something and I go to load a song and my beat grids are off, I can just hit the button, turn it off, load my song, and then go back to it. Does it though, Mac? Does it make you better? Well, okay, again, if you're using all the automations and everything, you're like, I was watching Terminator. You're like Sam Worthington's character, where your heart's in there and your brain is in there, but your whole body is machine. So yes, technically, I just like sync so the track won't drift, nothing more. So what you're describing is like basically like smart sync, simple sync, those types of things. And by the way, what people don't understand, one of the things that I always say, I don't always say, but people don't realize that the simple sync for Serato is always on. It's always on. So anybody that says, I don't use sync is for losers, sync is trash, I guarantee you most of them haven't even checked their Serato to see that it's on. It's always on. You have to turn that off. You see what I'm saying? So I just don't live in denial. And I use sync. I don't use sync all the time, but I use sync a lot. Just because I got so much other stuff going on. I'm just like, hit the sync button. Especially if I know the track and I'm just like, I know exactly where I want to go. Sync button, go on. Now, I stopped using the sync button on DJ because it kept breaking my mixes because of the dynamic beat grids. And once I understood why it was breaking my mixes, it does make it easier. But the bottom line here is that I use sync. I just turn off the advanced options. So I think the question is always going to be, and this will be in my video, if you don't use all the options, all the dynamic things that DJ has, if you don't use those, is it still a good program? That's the question. And the ultimate answer is yes, it's still a good program, even if you don't use it. And that, to me, that is the mark of a good program. If you turn off everything and you're just playing like two turntables on a mixer, is it still good? And the answer is yes. So for me, for me, Apple Music, the speed at which it turns on, the load speeds, everything, to me, and these are just physical things. It's not even the actual, it's not even the actual application. This is just things in the beginning. That alone, being able to load up, makes me use it more. Now, well, yeah, I mean, sure, Brad. Agreed. I don't look at the waveforms either, though. So, I mean, I really do. Just listen. Listen. I mean, if I do look at a waveform, it's just to make sure it's on the one. The library is good. Although I thought, Mac, that at a certain point, I used to think that you could search the crates. I thought you could search the crates. Like if I have a crate called EDM and I type in EDM, all my EDM crates would pop up. I thought you could do that before. Am I going crazy? Or was that just virtual DJ? Or is that any of them? Am I just misremembering? Because I could have sworn that used to be it. Anyway. Okay. You don't have to have Serato face. You don't. But that's the way people learned. See, I learned with vinyl. So with vinyl, you don't really have a lot of reference points. You have your ears. So, that's why. But the only time I have Serato face is if I'm searching for a song that I can't find. Oh, and the other thing, syncing. and Mixmaster G will be able to probably help that out. I don't use iTunes. Maybe at some point I might end up going back because of DJ, but I don't use iTunes. I just synced my Serato crate to it. So I have been struggling to get music after the fact into it. I've been struggling a little bit with that because it appears that with importing crates, DJ doesn't allow you to import a certain crate. It's all or nothing. So that's a little bit of a problem for me because that's one of the reasons why I was kind of going to go back to Serato because of the importation. Now, of course, obviously, if I only use DJ, it's not a big deal, but I'm a man that uses multiple softwares. So I have to have parity. I got to be able to go through all of them. And, I might have to, technically if I sync through Apple Music, or Apple Music, period, then it would work. I don't know. We'll see. Since the Alpha Theta Serato merger fell through, what are your thoughts towards someone else buying Serato? I would like to see them with a dedicated hardware manufacturer like Rane. If they're with a hardware company, then you risk having Serato only hardware again. And to me, the best part of it is in the fact that, Serato works with stuff, but in some cases, Rekordbox works with stuff. In some cases, Engine OS works with Serato. So for me, I don't know that having dedicated hardware, would that be great? It's just a Serato board, just Serato S11, that'd be cool. But I think you may be limiting. I think the whole point is to not limit. Because remember, if a hardware company, and I think of Alpha Theta as a hardware company, but they're more of an umbrella and they're still a software company too. Okay. But if a dedicated hardware company is like, hey, Roland comes in and is like, I want to buy you Serato, then we're just going to have a whole bunch of Serato Roland pieces of gear. And I don't think that answers the problem either. Because if, in all honesty, I know people want to shit on Pioneer and Alpha Theta, but the fact is, besides Pioneer, and Engine, technically, they're like the only two that actually have multiple OSs on a given piece of hardware. So I feel like Roland would be taking a step back in my mind. Most hardware, I think they need to be bought just by like a software company. A software company that doesn't even do something like this, but somebody that can let them operate autonomously and do their thing. That's what I believe. Because I do believe, hardware is down the line, but a Serato can't afford to be with one company. They would go out of business. If they're like, oh, we're now Roland and we have Serato Rev 7. It's going to take a while for people to have actual confidence in them. Anyway, there's a QSC merger. Who are they merging with? Who are they merging with? Sorry, I was stuck in DJ for a minute. QSC merger. Acuity announces agreement to acquire QSC. Not that. This. Okay. And I don't need this up. Go away. All right. Let's see here. Okay. This happened today. What does Acuity do? $1.2 billion. Market Industrial Technology Company. $600 million term loan. Okay. And the remainder of balance. Okay. Huh. Okay. So what does Acuity own? Brands. Okay. Interesting. Now, I'm not familiar with these brands. I mean, I do know some of the lighting on here, but I don't see what that has to do with audio. Huh, interesting. Well, Intelligent Spaces. Here we go. Analog to digital. Intelligent Spaces Group delivers market leading edge to cloud solutions that make. Okay, that's still. Okay. Anyway. Yeah, because that seems fairly low for a purchase. But I don't know. Interesting. I mean, look, here's the thing. I don't actually have a problem with companies. No, I don't think it's the end for QSC. I don't have a problem. I mean, a lot of times it's not about the end. It's about stopping the cash flow problems. So they sell to somebody else to give them some time. And if the company, which is what I was about to say, I don't have a problem with a company, a business that buys up a company because it looks good on their portfolio. Okay. Also, we don't know the agreement, but basically if maybe QSC was making a profit, or maybe they needed some venture capital and then now they're going to get that. Maybe Acuity will divest the QSC Pro Audio portion. Well, who knows? But I don't have a problem with some random company, buying them. I mean, look at Alpha Theta. Like it doesn't necessarily mean that it's the end of the world. I mean, if you really think about it, QSC has been a little slow to in releasing new gear. Like really, like at this point in time, the amount of stuff QSC should be much larger. So maybe this will help them, or maybe this will get them focused, or maybe we all get screwed, and then they stop their the mobile division, or they only produce super high-end speakers, and then the regular DJ has nothing. Maybe that'll happen. I mean, who knows? Or maybe they'll go completely back into the DJ market and they'll focus on that. But QSC has technology that goes beyond what your everyday DJ does. You get what I'm saying? So who knows? Let's take a look at QSC real quick. They were quick to this too. Okay, so you see this right here? This QSYS? Um, okay. So this right here is what they're buying. This stuff, this cloud-based stuff. This is where their focus is my guess. Yeah, this is what they wanted. And for all we know, that's so funny that it looks just like their normal amp racks. But for all we know, Acuity has been using their hardware and their software for a lot of their back end stuff. And then they were just like, why are we just renting? Let's just buy it. Let's just buy it and call it a day. Anyway, maybe. Maybe. Does I mean, InMusic doesn't have a DJ speaker system sales. Anyway, whatever. Okay. So yeah. See, Keith, we're right on the same page. Right on the same page. Yeah. So what, in case you guys are, just DJs and you don't actually do any outside learning, what they're all saying here is that QSC was purchased for this QSYS software. And then what they'll end up doing is just selling off the DJ portion to another company. So maybe InMusic can buy them. And now we got, QSC with them. InMusic has Alto. And I'm sorry. Was that out loud? I didn't mean to say that out loud. But I mean, I think the first person, their new in-ear monitor is freaking awesome. Okay, I can believe that. I've always loved their in-ears, but now I've moved on. But their in-ears have also always been great. The over-the-counter in-ears, I don't think anybody's better than Shure. I think Shure has the best. There you go. Good job, Balance. Good job. True. Okay. Fair enough. Ska. Yeah. Ska. I mean, you got to get, again, this is what I'm saying. It is really hard. It is really hard to convince, it's really hard to convince DJs to go and use other stuff. It's really hard, right? So that's why you have a whole bunch of DJs that use Pioneer products, or you use Rane products, or, and then when something new comes up, you use Serato, or you use whatever, and something new comes up and people are like, that's trash. That's all trash. There's nothing better than Serato. And then, because DJs are the worst. We are the worst. We are huge on peer pressure. Huge. People don't like to do things that are outside of the norm because they'll be made fun of. They'll be called out. We run into the same situation. So virtual DJ. Okay. So everybody's, there's Serato, there's Rekordbox, mostly Rekordbox Sticks. Let's be honest with you here. Rekordbox Sticks is really where people are using Rekordbox. But let's just say there's Serato and people like virtual DJ. And then Serato was like, oh, all the Serato users, no, virtual DJ is trash. All the virtual DJ, you don't understand how powerful virtual DJ is. Serato's trash, blah, blah, blah. And they're not really willing to truly try. Again, that's what I'm saying about, I was talking about DJ. I'm talking about DaVinci Resolve. Until you actually go head first You know, you jump in and you're in the water. It's really hard to say that something is good or bad until you actually use it. You know, like I knew that DJ was good, but until I'm actually in it and then I can see the quirks, the things I like, the things I don't like, then I can really tell you if it's really, really good. You know, and the same thing with DaVinci. I spent months with DaVinci, like, oh, you know, Final Cut's just faster. Final Cut's just faster. It's just this and that. Then I started to learn the hotkeys, and I'm like, okay, it's just as fast. And now, because of this ATEM right here and using DaVinci, when I shoot my videos here, and I have video feeds here and video feed here and my computer feed here, when I click on the changeover to the different cameras, when I take that hard drive, by the way, no extra, I take the hard drive, I plug it into my computer, and I open up DaVinci, it's already got everything broken out for me. All I have to do is edit a couple things. That's where technology should work for you. Anyway, you can't mix certain brands with certain things. Are you sure? This isn't like wearing, you know, Puma sweatsuit and Nike shoes. I think you can. You know, I really do. Do you have a... Oh, no. Guys, be clear. I wasn't talking about the latency. I was just talking about Ska as a company. You know? Yeah, no, the Sonic Link is really, really fast. And so is the X5s. You know? So there's those options. Do you have a preference of genre to mix when you're mixing for yourself? Not anything that anybody else is listening to. I stay away from pop. If I'm mixing just for myself, I mean, am I really mixing? A lot of more Kaytranada style vibes, in all honesty. I'm more that way when I'm DJing. If somebody's like, oh, play lounge, that's where I go. Try to stay away from pop, stay away from, you know, I will default to old school hip hop sometimes, but more of the Kaytranada vibes is where I sit. Okay. I mean, who knows? It depends. I don't think they'll be there. You're right. I don't think they'll be there, but we'll see. But what I was saying before, when I was rudely interrupted by Mac Joseph, what I was saying before was that I think this is going to be a good year for a lot of companies. I think Pioneer needs a good showing. Alpha Theta, Pioneer. I just think in music should just show the hell up, period. And not just at the Beat Junkies booth, but actually show up. I think I'm not worried about Reloop. Reloop is Reloop. Whatever. And I also think that Hercules needs a new update. Hercules needs a new T7. They need a T7 Premium is what I think they need. They made their mark. People are looking at them. So now it's time to really give them what they want. Oh, and of course, Mac Joseph's booth. Mac Joseph's booth, you definitely need to. Algorithm and Serato should show up. I think DJ will show up. I do. Serato usually teams up with other companies, you know, so who knows? But the problem with Serato is I think that when you have companies like DJ, I've never seen virtual DJ there, but when you have companies like that, I think what ends up happening is Serato doesn't have anything to show. You know, Serato doesn't have anything to show. So people are coming out with these new bells and whistles and Serato has nothing. Now, Serato is solid. It works great for the most part. A little slow, needs some updates, needs some upgrades, but you can still get your job done with it. Virtual. No, I'm sure Puffy's getting demonetized too. There is no deal. You can't play other people's music without getting demonetized. Now, remember, Puffy's not just doing that he's not doing it for money. He's doing it for followers, for subscribers. So then when he does his show, he's got a packed house, you know? So I mean, the same thing with Carlo. Carlo's mixes that he does for when new gear comes out, which are always good. He doesn't get a dime for those. Not a dime. But he also has a shit ton of followers because he does those videos. Trade-offs. Okay. Pioneer just hogs the spot. They have a big booth. You're right. They do have a big booth, but it's also always been the anchor of the entire DJ community. So I guarantee you, nobody's telling the vendors that they have to have a small spot. They just can't afford it. And if you're broke, just say so. You know what I mean? Like, that's the whole point that Pioneer does that. They spend the money. Anybody could spend the money if they really wanted to. They just don't. Okay. Anyway, prediction. Pioneer will finally show off streaming a Beatport Beat Source title at NAMM 25. You know, I don't disagree with that. That's a possibility. Are they coming to NAMM they haven't come to NAMM as Pioneer DJ in 2 years. They were Alpha Theta last year. And all the conferences I've gone to, they've been Alpha Theta. Okay. Right. There's no reason to be angry. Nothing has changed for you. So there's nothing to worry about right now. Nothing has changed. You know, it's kind of like when a new operating system comes out, a new Serato or whatever, and they're like, oh, by the way, Serato only works with Mac version blah, blah, blah. And the person's like, what the hell, man? I can't get the update. Meanwhile, they probably haven't updated in like 5 cycles, but whatever. Your stuff isn't broken. Your speakers still work. Now, if something goes down, that's a different story. I get it. But, you know, there's repair shops everywhere. And so I think a lot of people, this is the opportunity. Anytime somebody sells to somebody, okay? When the writing was on the wall for Serato, what happened? People were like, well, let's see what the other options are. First thing they did, let's see what the other options are. So, I always say, take this as the opportunity to see what the other options are. Maybe there's some good ones, you know, maybe there's some good ones. Anyway. All right, boys, girls, Pioneer speakers. And nothing wrong with Pioneer speakers. I have a couple of them. Okay, so you can post it without legal repercussions. All right, just correct. In general, okay, and I use this term loosely, but in general, you can DJ all the time. If there's a couple of tricks that you can do. First trick is you might want to avoid the live mix and do a pre-recorded mix and then post that on there, you know? Like maybe you recorded it while you were doing your Twitch thing and then you posted it back there. Because if you post it back, then what happens is you will allow YouTube to do their analysis. And then if there's any problems with your music, then you can go, let me cut this out. Let me do this. Because there's 3 things that can happen with YouTube. 3 things, right? 1, you play your video, you play your stuff, whatever. It doesn't get caught. They let it go through. Doesn't mean that it won't come back later on. It just means that at that time, they let it go through. All right. Then you got your second one. And your second one is, hey, by the way, we know that this song is this copyrights owners, but they don't have a problem with it. So you can we'll still keep it on your channel, but you can't make any money off of this. Okay. So they do that. Then the last one is, Yes, we know Twitch allows DJing. Why are we saying obvious things? We're not talking about Twitch. We're talking about YouTube. Oh, Mac, you can be exhausting. And the third thing, if a song owner has a problem with anybody playing their music, then it will send you a letter and say, hey, by the way, this song holder does not allow your song or their song to be used in this country or this region, right? It can still work in the United States or it can still work there. But in this area, your video is going to be blocked. All right. Then, I'm sorry, there's a couple more. Then the next one is your video is blocked everywhere. You can't play it anywhere. You haven't received a copyright strike yet. Out of all these things that I've just said, you have not received a copyright strike. Then, if you play a song and that copyright owner can't stand that you used it, right? Can't stand that anybody uses it, then it will get flagged. But that has to come from the actual owner of said copyright, and then they will strike you. That's when you get a ding on your record, and you get 3 strikes, and they close down your account. So it takes a lot to get to a copyright strike, like a lot. I mean, there has been an argument made that the copyright strikes, they've been weaponizing copyright strikes. So like, let's say for instance, like a lot of the movie people, the movie review people, if they do a movie review and it's all, public, whatever, if they do a movie review and the company doesn't like their review, they'll copyright strike them. So YouTube will take it down automatically. And so there has been some weaponization going on with copyright strike. There was one, I watched this one production. Yes, I'm still using the NBC, but there's one lawyer who talks about contracts specifically for like, oh, hey, I use a sample program and can I use this in my music, blah, blah, blah. So she went through and read the TLC, the terms and conditions. And they didn't like what she had to say. So they copyright struck her so the video would be removed. Not that what she was saying was wrong or that it was actually valid, but they still struck her. So look, most people don't care. I've been on YouTube for 6 years, even when I was DJing. I've had Warner Brothers say, hey, this song is, these 4 songs when I used to DJ, like during the pandemic, these 4 songs are blocked. Warner Brothers is notorious for it, by the way. And now you can't play it anywhere. It's not allowed, but it's not a copyright strike. So there you go. I'm on the DJ program with Twitch. Can't wait till YouTube adopts something similar. I mean, I believe that YouTube. Okay, look, we're talking about 2 different things because, and I do have to go. We're talking about the ability for a DJ to make money DJing live, but obviously they're DJing using somebody else's music, hence disc jockey. I truly believe YouTube has always had a better the system. It's not necessarily designed for you specifically, but they already have lots of things in place, which is why you don't get hit with strikes because they already have things in place. But Twitch's program, good. There's a lot of music that you can't play though, which wouldn't bother me because I'm still playing outside of that anyway when I'm DJing. But I have not signed up for it. I'm still a partner there, but I haven't signed up for the program yet, which I will do. Yeah, I know, but who cares, guys? We can record our own sets. You see what I'm saying? Like, we make things harder than they need to be. We want to complain about stuff that like doesn't matter. If you want to retain your set, or I want people to see my set afterwards, well, then if you're operating on an illegal place, don't operate on an illegal place. There's plenty of places that you can mix and send your links to. But if I think live is the most important part of Twitch. That's the reason that I'm on there. I'm not on there to see, rerun sets. I'm on there to see real people DJ live. YouTube music should be inside DJ software now. Okay. Okay. I don't use YouTube music, so I could care less. I am a YouTube premium subscriber, but I don't use YouTube music. Anyway, I mean, there's a reason that my show is on here dedicated versus it being on Twitch, for the longest time. But yeah, I think I'll probably end up going back. Yes, thank you. Audio One in the building. What's going on, fam? I'm just about to get off, but oh wow, thanks Zoom for telling me I'm 2 minutes past. Yes, there's so many ways. You can record it through OBS. You can literally rip it immediately after it's done. There's still some space there. ATEM, anything and everything. There's so many options. So many options. Can't save streams or clips. Do you guys honestly believe that people are going back to your channels to rewatch your DJing? Or do you think they catch you when you're live? You know what I mean? I don't think most people are looking at reruns. I don't. To me, that's like, okay, like this stream right now, a little bit of a difference because on this stream, I know I have people that don't have time or working or whatever. So then they go back and they watch it after it airs. So I know that happens. I know it's possible. I get a lot more not rewatching. I get a lot more watching later on. Like maybe when I'm done with this, maybe there'll be, 600-700 views, right? But when it's said and done, they'll end up being like 2,000. So I know that there's a large portion of people that don't watch this live. I know this, and that's okay. As long as you watch it, that's all I really care about. So maybe people are watching. I could care less about watching somebody on a stream where I can't talk to them. That's weird to me. That's weird. And it's so funny when I get comments, because I get random comments in like a couple hours. Somebody will have a comment about the show, like I'm still on live. And then I read it and I'm like, what the? Oh yeah, that's right. They're not actually here. They think they're watching it live. Anyway, yeah, if you're Scratch Bastard, Jazzy Jeff, obviously, yes. Any of those, they're absolutely gonna watch back. But I just think that a majority of DJs, people don't, they'll watch them live and then they're off. All right, y'all, I do have to run. This weekend, what am I doing? I didn't even talk about my wedding this weekend. My EDM wedding. It was all EDM. I might have to talk about that. Anyway, we have an LED wall this weekend, so I'm working the LED wall. So you might see some more content about the LED wall. Do I watch the DJ Lab? Yeah. I mean, I do. I don't watch him all the time, but yeah, I like Steve. He's a good guy. So yeah. I can't answer your question. I gotta go. I'm late to my call, but I will see everybody soon. That just sparked me to get my DJ video done. That just sparked me. Maybe we'll do one. When is Halloween? Oh shit. It's actually next Thursday. I might have to do something special. Anyway, don't be late next week. Y'all are trash. All right, I gotta run. Have great parties this weekend, everybody. Make sure you follow up whatever video. I have a video coming out on the Phoenix Pro antenna extenders, which I love now. Show up as Prince. Anyway, so I've had an idea for the longest time. I might do it this year. Anyway, gotta run, y'all. I will see you later. Have a great time. Have great parties this weekend. See you soon. Peace out.